What's good, peeps? Thanks as always for passing by the channel. Much appreciated. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are new. Don't forget as well, please, to like and share the video. And you can support the channel as well now. I do have a Patreon account. The link is in the description. All right. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens next with Callum Smith, or who he fights next. Eddie Hearn is going to have to pull a rabbit out of a hat here. He's going to have to do magic tricks, I think, to get Callum Smith and Joe Gallagher what they want next. And what they want next is a massive fight. That's what they want next, right? They want a big boy. They want GGG. They want CANELO. I don't think they've even mentioned the likes of Benavidez and Caleb Plant. They want either GGG or CANELO. I don't see how that's possible, if I'm honest with you. Again, magic tricks are going to have to come from Eddie Hearn here or he's going to have to pay over the odds to get Callum Smith what he wants. Remember, there was always this sort of lingering issue anyway with Callum Smith, Joe Gallagher and Eddie Hearn. We found out, I think a few months ago, that Callum Smith was out of contract. He re-signed with Eddie Hearn, and I'm guessing Eddie Hearn promised that he can deliver these things. I don't know how after Saturday night he delivers. Don't know, if I'm honest with you. It wasn't just that I thought he lost. I'll get over that soon. It was also that it was a bad performance. It was actually quite a boring fight. The crowd looked flat, right? There was no positives to take away from that fight. I guess the only positives are that he kept his belts, right? He's still a world champion, which should mean something. I don't know what it means when you're talking about fighting GGG or CANELO. I don't know if they are even caring about belts right now. I think it's just a case of the biggest check, especially for GGG. For CANELO, he might want a belt at 168, right, to become a legit 4-weight world champion. But I don't think Callum Smith's high on his list, if I'm honest with you. And I don't think it's high on DAZN's list either. And I think that's an important factor. DAZN play a massive part in who CANELO fights next, right? Just because of, obviously, we know what they're paying him. We know what, around the $30 million mark. They need sign-ups to continue to pay that kind of money. It's fact. Does CANELO versus Callum Smith generate a huge amount of sign-ups? Don't know. Don't think so, if I'm honest with you. I mean, CANELO just by himself generates a certain amount, right? But I don't know if this kind of takes it above that. I don't think it does. And not only that, if Callum Smith does want a big fight in the UK, and again, GGG, CANELO, maybe chuck Billy Joe Saunders into that, then it has to be on pay-per-view. He ain't a pay-per-view fighter. He just isn't. And I know Jay Gallagher's going to start spilling things like he's Ring Magazine this and he's the #1 super middle. He's not a pay-per-view fighter. So again, that's why I say Eddie Hearn has to start doing magic tricks. That performance is going to have repercussions in terms of who he fights next. So he might have to, I don't know, fight someone in the interim, really perform, right? Be devastating. Not just a bum, but someone of note, someone top 5, top 10, be devastating, and then maybe take on one of the big boys. Because you have to get the fans wanting it, right? We are the most important people to please here. If he looked devastating, and I said this in the beginning, or sorry, in the lead up to that fight, he has to look devastating against John Ryder. If he looked devastating, right? If it was a boxing clinic and he stopped in mid-rounds, we would be all over social media screaming for, oh, CANELO's got to come to Anfield, or we've got to see Callum Smith versus GGG, or Callum Smith versus Billy Joe Saunders got to happen. No one's saying that. Nobody's saying it. People are still talking like he didn't win that fight. So, again, it's going to be interesting because, let's be honest, he did re-sign with Eddie Hearn, I guess, with the idea that he will get a big fight. Remember, this is what Billy Joe Saunders signed to Eddie Hearn for as well. Big fight after big fight after big fight. Remember, Eddie Hearn said that. He said, welcome to the big leagues. Well, there's Callum Smith there and he wants a big fight. But based off of the reaction to Saturday night, he ain't getting a big fight. And it's also funny because I think I heard, might be one of the Smith brothers, I'm not sure, so I don't want to say that 100%. Something like CANELO's got to come to Anfield or something like that. And I'm thinking, you think you're going to dictate to the most powerful boxer on the planet right now? Well, maybe not now that Floyd's come out of retirement, but you think that you're going to dictate to CANELO? No, That's not going to happen. Of all the possibilities, they might need to scrap the idea. Billy Joe, they don't want. I know that for a fact, and it's not because they don't think they can beat him. Other reasons behind the scenes. GGG isn't going to happen because GGG is probably going to fight Canelo. Let's probably be honest about that one. So realistically, he needs to chase Caleb Plant and Benavidez. But even those are difficult because these guys have fights lined up. I don't know when, but Caleb Plant looks like he's going to fight Angulo. Benavidez will probably fight Yildirim. So again, I'm very interested in what Eddie Hearn's going to do here. And I think even Eddie Hearn is interested in what Eddie Hearn's going to do. Because again, we are talking rabbit out of a hat. Magic tricks incoming. Peace.